Love triangle. The Pauls family is one of a kind. A happy family indeed where peace abound. Mr. Paul was indeed wealthy. He was a retired manager of his company, which was now managed by his daughter. Mr. Paul lived with his family in his own mansion in the city of Abuja. Mr. and Mrs. Paul had two daughters, Jane and Michelle. Jane, being the first daughter, helped manage her father's company. She was the perfect definition of an introvert and a workaholic. She barely talked to people or even hang around with friends. Her whole life was work, 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 and nothing. Michelle, on the other hand, was a complete contrast to her sister. She was a model, always in for the cameras. If she's not making a photo or video shoots, then she's definitely hanging out with friends. She was never alone. Clinton, the heir of J&K Company, was in the office one afternoon when he requested for his secretary. His secretary, Zainab, has been working for him for the past 3 months. J&K Company was going to launch a new project, so they needed the face of a popular influencer in order to promote the project by creating awareness. Zainab wasted no time in recommending her friend. Immediately, Clinton told her he was looking for a model. She convinced him that her friend Michelle was capable of the tasks. She even went ahead to mention the contracts Michelle has ever gotten. Clinton agreed to give the contract to her friend, but he insisted on an interview with the so-called friend before any further deals. On the day of interview, Michelle was dressed in a beautiful white dress, ready to meet with the boss Zainab kept talking about. She was surprised when she found out that Zainab had been saying facts about him. He was exactly the man Zainab described him to be: tall enough, dark-skinned, and utterly handsome. During their discussion, Michelle's gaze was fixed on him, and it made him uncomfortable because the stares weren't just normal. At the end of the day, Michelle agreed to the contract. She even went as far as asking him not to pay, but Clinton declined. Some weeks later, Michelle became very close to Clinton. She would bring lunch at his office, and they would chat afterwards. There was no doubt that Collins was becoming fond of her. He enjoyed their zestful relationship, which was undefined to him, but to Michelle, it was becoming a serious, romantic relationship. One fateful day, Jane was coming out of a supermarket when she barged on Clinton, who coincidentally liked her at first sight. Jane felt embarrassed and apologized. She became nervous when she noticed the way Clinton was staring at her. She quickly got into her car and left even when Clinton called her attention. When Clinton got home that day, he couldn't stop thinking about Jane. She seemed decent even when he just met her for the first time. Even after his house help called him down for dinner, he rejected because his mind was preoccupied by the mere coincidence earlier that day. When Michelle brought him lunch the next day, she noticed the expression in Clinton's face. He wasn't looking cheerful as he used to. Michelle asked if he was all right, and he gave a reassuring smile and a nod to affirm that he was completely fine, but Michelle sensed something was wrong somewhere. Clinton was hell-bent in seeing Jane, that he would drive to the supermarket every day waiting for Jane to pass by, but unfortunately she never did. He never met her, not for the second time. 2 months later, Clinton and Michelle became an item. They got into a serious romantic relationship to the extent that Michelle had to halt her modeling career to please Clinton, who seemed not to like the idea of her modeling. She invited him to dinner with her family, and he accepted. In the dining room, Mr. and Mrs. Paul were already seated waiting for Michelle, who had gone to welcome her guest, who came knocking. Clinton noticed the bright smile on Michelle's parents' faces when he showed up with Michelle, but he greeted them with all respect and honor, just as Michelle was going on with the introduction. When they were all seated, Michelle excused herself. She went to Jane's room to inform her that her long-awaited boyfriend was around. Jane was happy because she was longing to meet the Mr. Perfect, just as her sister had described him. Michelle had told her a lot about Clinton, that she was really curious to meet him for the first time. Just as they were clumping down the stairs toward the dining room, Michelle was already making an introduction, but she paused abruptly when she noticed how surprised they were to see each other.